Hey everybody, it's been a long time since I've made a guitar video, and I never really stopped getting into guitars, but there was a while where I had other things that I kind of put my interest and time and money into. I started getting into motorcycles. More recently, I've gotten into 3D printers. Now, all that time that I've done that, I haven't stopped with guitars. I would still buy and fix them up and sell them and all the things that I did before. I just didn't do it as much as frequently, but I'm kind of getting back into it again, but in a different way. So I've been 3D printing for between a year and a half and 2 years. I've learned a lot in that time, and I've had a lot of interesting things come up. So one of them that I wanted to do from the time I got a 3D printer, I thought it'd be really cool to 3D print a guitar. And when I first started 3D printing, I did attempt, and it did not turn out well because I didn't know about how to dial in your settings on a 3D printer to get things to come out right. And uh, I wouldn't recommend a guitar as a first project for 3D printing. Anyway, I printed a bunch of other stuff for a while. Kind of forgot about printing guitars until recently, and so I tried my hand at it, and this was my first successful guitar. I did not design the guitar. I'll put a link to the source where I got the file for it. You can kind of see it's in pieces. You can't print it all out at once, and this one's in 6 pieces. And it's got these cool see-through parts, and I think not only does it look cool, but it saves a lot of material when you're building. And all the parts came from Amazon with the exception of the neck. I found that on Facebook Marketplace. Somebody had put a Fender badge on a Mighty Mite neck. Now, it's a perfectly good neck. It's not a Fender neck, but it's a good neck. I left the Fender badge on because I really don't know much about taking the badge off without damaging the finish, so I just left it as is. Anyway, it's got, as you can see, 3 humbuckers. How's it sound? Sounds okay. It's cheap components, cheap pickups. But I've got to say, I'm pleased with the way it came out. I've learned a lot. I would do it differently next time if I were to do one like this again. And the mistake I made is I thought, well, I don't want those lines that are on the top surface of a 3D printed thing, so I'll sand that off. Don't do that. Don't do that. It ended up turning like whitish gray. I got it a little more black than it was before by using some plastic polish, and I just would not do that again. Anyway, this is the first 3D printed guitar that I made. It works. It's fine. There's been a lot of debate because I would ask for advice in different Facebook groups, and I would get a lot of comments about, oh, don't do that. And I've had other comments, oh, it'll be fine as long as you do the infill to this percentage and set it up for this many walls, it'll be fine. And there's so many opinions, and anything you put out there, people are going to want to criticize and tear down. But whatever. It's my 3D printer. It's my project. I'm going to do what I want to do. Now, one of the things that I learned was that you've got copyright issues that you need to deal with. So I can print this guitar, and I can play it, and I can go play it in front of other people if they want to see me. They probably don't, but that's okay. But I can't sell it, and I can't sell it because I didn't design it, which is fine. So I started looking around and thought, well, maybe there's one that has the type of license that would let me sell it. And there are different types of licenses. So the next one I did, I found one that I liked. Now the idea with this one is I liked the hexagons better than the just kind of random shapes on that one. And this one has a kind of license that, oh, okay, if you print this, yeah, you can sell it. So I printed this one. Now I've got 6 different colors. I've got 3 machines that I was running on that one so that I could, get them done faster, and I don't have 3 rolls of the same color filament, so I've just been doing these kind of a patchwork way. It is a prototype. So what I found was I put this together. I put a neck in it that I had. The neck's in a different guitar. I'll show you that in a while. The neck fit in, and it looked great. So I thought, well, this looks great. So while I was waiting for parts and whatnot, I started printing out another one, a second one, in all black. And I got to say, it looks pretty cool. Now the problem I ran in with this one, and again, I'll put the link. These two are the same. These two, they're same file. Just this one's printed in black. This one, same thing, printed in different colors. But what I ran into when I got a pick guard, a loaded pick guard for it, and tried to put it in, nothing fit. The neck fit, but I found that I was having to severely modify the pick guard to get it to work, which kind of goes against the whole purpose of 3D printing your own guitar. I don't want to have to print it out and then tool it to make it work. So I ended up not doing anything with these, but it was a good learning experience to print them out. And there's a lot of stuff you got to do. You gotta deburr it, and it's got a lot of edges, especially with these holes on the back. Oh, and if you'll notice, this isn't the contour body. This is just flat. But you get little sharp, not sharp, but you get edges that'll catch on your shirt, that kind of thing with this. All right. So then I decided to try my hand at designing a guitar. So I took the file of a blank Fender Strat, true to Fender standards for size, and I learned how to put my own designs on it, and I learned how to split it apart so that I could print it on my printer, because my print surface is way smaller than this, so I have to split it into pieces in order to be able to print it. So I learned how to do it for myself, and I made this one, and I thought it was kind of cool. Everything on it came from a Squier. I bought a Squier guitar, with the exception of the bridge, because the holes were pre-drilled for a bridge with 10.8 millimeter spacing between screws, and Squier has 10.5. So I had to get a different bridge so that I wouldn't have to drill new holes or anything. And that's something that I can easily take into account in future printings. But I wanted to stick with Fender specs just to see how it would work. And this is how it turned out. And I am not displeased with it at all. And yeah, it's a prototype. There are some things that I would do differently for the second time. In fact, I did. I'll show you that in a little bit. But the first mistake, if you notice, you've got the pick guard and it's over holes. So there are parts where I can't even screw. There's supposed to be a screw right here, but there's nothing to screw into. And the same thing kind of happened on the back. So I didn't do the best job placing those holes. But again, prototype, it's part of the process. You design, you build it, you figure out what works, what doesn't, and that helps guide you towards the next one. And so just for fun, I did another one, but I changed the whole pattern. I changed this one. It's round instead of hexagon. Now, the way that this one and the one I just showed you are put together, I made holes in it and put little pegs to help align it. And that did an okay job. But I thought it could be better. And that led me to this one. So what I did is I took ideas that I took ideas that I liked from the other one that's fully built, and then I made some changes. So I made the hex hole smaller, and I left no holes where the pick guard's going to go, and I think that'll do pretty well. Now, if you'll notice, I've got dovetail joints. There's no alignment pegs. So this thing, I had to deburr it again to get it to fit, and then I just kind of tap it together with a rubber mallet, and then added some super glue to the seams, and it seems to be coming together really well. And I did have some fitment issues. Again, I'm making this out of, well, there's a lot of colors on this, a lot of rolls of filament, because as I would run out of one color, I just load another one in, and that's how you ended up with green and pink, gray and brown over here, red and purple, green and pink, and it's fine. Again, prototype. But because I'm making it on 3 different machines, and each machine, they're not all dialed in exactly the same. Maybe I'll get to the point where I can take these Ender 3 machines and get them all to print perfectly. I don't know if that day's going to come anytime soon. So what I'm doing is I'm taking which machine made the best pieces, the ones that fit together the most easily. That would be these 2 pieces came from the same 2 machines. These 2 came from the same machine, and these 2 came from the same machine. But these 2 right here, these were the best fitting ones. So what I'm doing for my next one, and it's printing right now, I'm going to make one in all black using all the same, use the same filament. I mean, I'm going to have to, of course, change filament rolls because it is going to take more than 1 kilogram of filament. But I have, 2 that probably came from the same batch. I bought them from the store at the same time. They came out of the same case. So it should work out well. I'm hoping it will. Now, if that one works out the way I think it will, then that's the design I'm going to use for the final build. But all of these guitars that you've seen, all these guitar bodies, it's just part of the design process as I'm working towards the guitar that I really would like to build. Anyway, thanks for watching. I'll keep you updated. And if you're into 3D printing and into guitars, you're gonna use up a lot of your time with this project. Anyway, thanks for watching.